skip ahead. How do we remember how to use a fire extinguisher? Well, we have this word pass, stands for pull, aim, squeeze, and sweep. So what am I pulling? I'm pulling this pin out. And they got a little plastic gray lock here that holds it in place so it doesn't fall out. So you got to give it a little pull to break that clip. Pull the pin out. Take my hose, I'm going to aim it at the base of the fire while squeezing the handle down and sweeping. The hose coming off. Sweeping back and forth. Pull, aim, squeeze the handle, sweep back and forth. This is a 10-pound dry chemical extinguisher. Once I start to squeeze that handle down, how long do you think this is going to last?
15 seconds.
About 20, 25 seconds. Yeah, once you squeeze that down. Not minutes. Some people think, oh, it's 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes. No, about 25, 30 seconds. Am I going to put out a big fire with this fire extinguisher? A small contained fire. What's a good example of a small contained fire? Waste basket. So if I have a waste basket and flames are hitting the ceiling, is that contained? No, forget it. Not put it out. Get the people out of harm's way. Once you get people out of harm's way, if it's still just there, it's not catching other things on fire, if you think you can try to put it out, does it make sense to leave the room, run all the way down the hall to get the fire extinguisher, come back, go back in the room? You think it's going to be doubling or tripling in size, that fire? Is there something else right in the immediate vicinity that I can put that fire out with? Take a pillow, stuff it in there. Pour water on it. Take a pillow, stuff it in there. Do I still have a fire? Even if I had a small fire in a trash can and I put it out, was it still a fire? Am I still yelling code red? Am I activating the alarm, rescuing the people out, closing the door, tagging it? Don't think just because I had a small fire, we put it out, oh, now we don't have to carry and follow through with our fire procedures. This is one of the catastrophic consequences that we see when we investigate fires, is people stop. They think, oh, we just had a small little thing, a little near miss, or is just a little short in like an electrical outlet, and there's a little, little mark there, a little scar there, a little burn mark coming out of electrical outlet, and they think, oh, we just unplugged the thing that shorted out and it's fine, we'll call maintenance. Not realizing that there's an electrical fire in a wire burning inside the wall. So if you're not sure, even if it's a tiny little thing, activate your fire procedures. Yellow code red, get people out of the area, pull the alarm, get the fire department to respond here, and make people safe, get them away from the area. Cordon off the area, let them investigate, do an investigation, and make sure that the area is actually safe. Don't think, oh, it's just a tiny little fire, we're going to kind of sweep it under the carpet, so to speak. We got the little fire out and there's no smoke, it didn't even set the smoke detector off, so we can just go about our business. Worst mistake that you can have. Follow your fire procedures through the same way every time. So what kind of fires can I put out with the fire extinguisher? A-type fires are things that burn and create ashes. B-type fires are things that bubble and boil, like flammable liquids and grease and things like that. C-type fires are current, circuits, electronics, so all the kinds of stuff we find throughout the building. You don't have a kitchen here in this building, right? So no K extinguisher. So we're going to show you and demonstrate for you some of our skills. All right. Well, I'm going to have the first two. I'm going to have the first two folks. If you could kind of get up and just move your chairs to the side and give me a little room.
No, there's Maria. She wants to help. And you're going to get up.
All right. So you can go ahead and lay right down in the bed.
Sure. Oh, me.
All right. I'm just going to pull the first.
I didn't know I could rest.
Chairs to the side.
I didn't know I could have rested. I would have. Oh, no.
All right. So we're going to demonstrate the sheet slide. I just need one more helper to help me over here. All right. Thank you. We're going to demonstrate for you the sheet slide technique. This is a rescue technique to be able to rescue a patient off of a stretcher, off of a bed, to get him out of a room that is on fire. Really kind of good for over here where you have exam tables. Those exam tables don't move. So if I have a patient in there that is kind of resisting, not getting up, not walking out, or it's going to have to be a difficult move to get out, or for whatever reason, in your ED area, for the open bay area is probably not an issue over there because it's just curtains and you can easily wheel the stretcher out of the way with the patient on it. But for any area where you're not going to be able to easily move this through a doorway, we need to get them out of the room that the fire is in. So this is not for our extended evacuation, we're moving people outside. This is for the room is on fire, and I need to get her out of this room yesterday. So what could be connected to my patients? That's another thing to think about. Oxygen, IVs, cardiac monitors. Some of those are easy, just pull them right off. Pull them off, pull the chest leads off, pull the wire out of the unit, just unclip it, lay it down. Oxygen tubing, just pull it off the regulator, lay the tubing down on her feet, on her legs. IVs are going to be challenging. My suggestion with IVs, unplug the IV pump from the wall, sheet slider to the floor, stop cock down the IV tubing, take the pump, the pole, the tubing, the whole thing, lay it right down next to her and take it with you. So wherever you end up with her, you have it, and you can just stand it back up, find some electricity, plug it back in, and go, and maybe you have to reset the settings if the settings got messed up on the pump in the process. Because do you have a lot of extra pumps laying around? You got a whole bunch, you got a big supply room, like 30 extra pumps and poles, right? No, I'm just kidding. Nobody does. So that's why IVs can be challenging. So we want to take an extra blanket or a sheet off of the patient, and we're just going to lay it down on the floor right next to the bed. Just like that. The reason I'm doing this is to get a little extra layer of strength underneath the patient, because right now I have this stretchy fitted sheet underneath her. This can tear out from underneath her as I start to drag her out of the room, and if this tears out from underneath her, then I have nothing to drag her by. So I put another layer of blanket on the floor. Then undo the four corners of my sheet.
Oh boy, okay.
Go ahead and cocoon the sheet right around her feet. Just wrap right there. You go. Perfect, just like that. All right, come right over to the side, right over here. I'm gonna come here, and we're just gonna pull her right over to the edge of the bed.
Okay.
Ready? 1, 2, 3, just like that. Good. Now I'm gonna stand right here, just below her shoulders. I want you to back up a little bit, just so you're right off the end of the bed, so you can grab around her ankles, and you'll be able to pass the feet right in front of you, just like that. I'm standing right just below her shoulders. My leg against the bed is bent. My back leg is nice and straight. This leg that's bent is becoming the slide. So I'm going to hold the sheet on either side of her shoulders when we're coming off the bed. You're just going to start the feet going this way and start to get them going down. I don't want you to bend and try to lower them slowly. Just let the feet, with gravity, go right to the floor.
Okay.
All right? And I'm going to control the slide coming off my leg. So here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Just like that. And I could go a lot faster if the room is on fire. I went nice and slow because I didn't want to bump her on the floor too hard. Now you just lay right back down on your head. Nice comfortable pillow there. Look at that. Sound comfortable. You can grab that corner of the blanket there. And here we go. We drag her down the hall. That's fine. You get the idea.
Okay. Are you gonna help me up?
Absolutely. All right. Give her a little round of applause. Thank you. Now, if the room is on fire, and are we going to be going pretty fast coming off there?
Yeah.
Could we land hard on the floor a little bit?
Yeah.
Bump the bottom, maybe get a bruise, maybe break the tailbone. We try not to hurt our patients. But they're alive. We get them out of the room that's on fire. That's the goal. Absolutely. All right, the next thing we're going to do is do some clothing fire suppression. So, why am I teaching you about clothing fire suppression? How can somebody catch their clothes on fire? Smoking. You know smoking facility here? Right. So we don't have to worry about that, right?
Right.
Good. And actually, when I was at
Not on hospital property.
what's that?
I said not on hospital property.
Right. So when I was at the hospital on Monday doing training, the very first class, I had one of the night security guards there, and I put him on the spot. I said, "When was the last time you caught somebody trying to sneak a cigarette in the bathroom?" And actually asked yesterday evening, I asked the guard yesterday, and he said about 30 minutes ago. So it's a risk that's still there. We've reduced the risk by becoming a no-smoking facility, a no-smoking campus, but the risk is still there. So, are there any other ways that a person can catch their clothes on fire? You ever have behavioral health patients in your ED here?
Oh, yeah. Not if we can help it.
Not if you can help it. But you do. So typically when you have a fire in an operating room, the fire is on or in the patient. If you have a fire in the ED, it's usually started by the patient. It's kind of a rule of thumb that we use.
Didn't we just have somebody in the room 4 bathroom
Yeah, we did.
smoking a few weeks ago?
With smoking in the bathroom?
Yes.
What about maintenance? If they're fixing something, if they're using a torch plumbing, sweating some pipes, they could catch clothes on fire that way. You know, lots of different ways a person can catch their clothes on fire. It's not just the smoking example. So we're going to show you, demonstrate for you the clothing fire suppression for a person in a seated position in a chair. It could also work if somebody's standing with a slight modification. It could work if somebody's laying in a bed. Same thing, a slight modification. The premise or the basic steps are the same. What I don't want you to ever do is take a fire extinguisher and spray a person with a fire extinguisher. Some people chuckle when I say that. Some people kind of scowl like, oh my gosh, like who would do that? And it's a natural reaction, because a fire is a scary thing, and when it's on a person, in order to suppress it using the technique I'm going to show you, you got to get up close and personal with that fire and with that person. And that could be scary for some people to get that close when the person has fire and heat and flames coming off of them. And so a fire extinguisher is a natural thought, because I can stand back from that person and just spray them with something. But that powder is a bicarbonate-based powder, and they're going to inhale and breathe that in. It's going to burn their airway, and it doesn't react well with the epithelial tissue in the mouth and the trachea and the lungs. It can actually suffocate them. There's actually a case study we used in last year's training where this gentleman was smoking outside on a veranda at a nursing home, designated smoking area. He caught his pants on fire, wheeled himself back into the facility. The staff panicked and they sprayed him with a fire extinguisher, wheeled him back outside, and he died from inhaling that stuff. They suffocated him. He didn't die from the burns or breathing in the smoke. So don't ever do that. Grab a sheet, a blanket, a towel, take the shirt off your back if you have to. Smother the fire that way. 3 ingredients that you need to have fire: heat, oxygen, and fuel. Take any one of those 3 things away and the fire goes out. We're going to get the oxygen away by smothering it. So Paul's here, he's got a sheet. Actually, I'm going to move over a little bit, give you a little bit. He's going to take his sheet, he's holding it up, hold it the wide way so it's not dragging on the floor. He's using and holding the sheet up to protect his face. As he approaches me, he doesn't want to be breathing in the smoke coming off of me. He's going to take his closest hand to my closest shoulder and put it right there, and he's going to slide it all the way across to the opposite shoulder. And now the sheet is up and it's protecting my face. So now when the smoke coming off of me is not going to hit me in the face, he's going to drop the sheet right over. Now we've contained all the fire and the heat and the smoke underneath the sheet. But I still have big pockets of oxygen under there, and if we do nothing else from this point, will the sheet catch on fire? Most definitely it will. So he's going to take his hand like a flat blade, and he's going to tuck once to my back pocket deep, and tuck on the other side deep to my back pocket. Now where's the oxygen pockets? They're gone. The fire will be out at this point. One last sweep down the middle to make sure there's no pockets between the knees. He's going to pull the sheet back up to his face, protect his face, let the smoke dissipate, and then he's going to pull the sheet away. So it's that simple. Where'd my lighter fluid go? That was right there. Thank you. All right, so we'll do it with a little flame to show you that it really does work. Coming across, drop it down, tuck to the back pocket, sweep, pull it up, fire's out. It's about technique and not about speed. If you go some people go a lot slower and you think, oh, if I go too slow, it's going to catch on fire. As long as you're diligent and get the good tucks, get the oxygen pockets gone, the fire will go out. Anybody want to try? Who wants to try?
My fellow pug owner would love to try.
Come on up.
Call me out, Paul.
I know. We're like pugsters, right?
I know. You're the ultimate pugster.
So I will walk you right through it. So go ahead and hold your sheet up. Make sure and it's not dragging on the floor. So this hand to this shoulder. Nope, that one's back. Right here. Take this and then push and slide it right across. Nope, this one's back. This one slides this way. Loosen your hand. There you go.
Okay.
There you go. Now throw it down. Good. Now tuck to the back pocket. Tuck to the back pocket. Sweep it out. Now leave this here. Okay. This is holding the barrier, which is protecting both our faces. Now pull that back up to your face, really high. Let the smoke dissipate. Take a look. Fire's out. So go back to what you were trying to do. That's why I was going to stop. That's all right. You had your hand here, and you were trying to bring that around this way.
Yeah.
Where is all the smoke and heat going to go if she does this?
Up in your face.
Right into my face. So you're there, and you come across, and this is what creates the barrier that's protecting both of us.
Okay.
All right? Any questions? That wasn't that hard, was it?
No, it wasn't.
Did it feel hot when you did the sweep?
No.
You didn't really feel the heat
yeah.
through there. No, it's just a matter of getting the oxygen away and the fire goes out. All right.